Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. Now, as all of you know, the Forza Horizon series is developed by game studio known as Playground Games, and for some of you who may have been living under a rock, some very big news occurred recently. But before we begin, a quick word from our sponsor for today's video. Opera GX has been my default browser for the better part of 2 years now, and it's a web browser specifically tailored for gamers like myself. Why I like using Opera GX is that you have full control on how much resources you want to use from your computer. GX Control allows you to restrict the amount of RAM and GPU from your browser to allow for a much better gaming experience. Not only that, you can also limit your own network bandwidth to further improve your in-game latency along with your own live stream. Speaking of live stream, Opera GX also has Twitch integration on the sidebar along with many other social media platforms as well, such as Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. But what I love about this feature is that I'm able to browse the World Wide Web while keeping up with all my social media updates. But my absolute favorite feature about this gaming browser is GX Corner. Here you can stay up to date with free games, the best deals, the newest releases, and breaking gaming news all in one easily accessible place. And to make things even more convenient, you can even switch between different platforms to see your favorite upcoming games for the calendar. A mobile version is also available known as GX Mobile, and it can be connected to your desktop version of Opera GX. So if you are a gamer like myself, this is really the only web browser you need, and if you want to check it out for yourself, simply click on the link down in the description below for your free download, and rest assured you will never look back. I certainly didn't. And now, back to the video. The creative director for Forza Horizon 5, Mike Brown, has left Playground Games. Yes, you have heard it right, has left Playground Games. In hindsight, this makes a whole lot more sense, as in many Forza monthlies or Let's Go livestream, we do often see Mike Brown on screen to talk about what's to come with any future Horizon 5 content, but in recent livestreams, he has been absent, and well, we now know the reason why. So the major news was first announced 5 to 6 days ago on Mike Brown's official Twitter, where he tweeted that he is now the creative director for a new independent AAA game studio known as Maverick Games. But it wasn't just Mike Brown that left from Playground Games. Several other employees, including Tom Butcher, who was the lead producer, but more infamously known as the man on Forza's streams called Tommy Bargains, technical director Matt Craven, technical art director Gareth Harwood, along with Fraser Stratkin, the audio director, and former Playground Games art director Ben Penrose, have all left Playground Games to join Mike Brown and the new studio of Maverick Games. Now, right now, the studio currently has 10 employees, with the aim of growing that number up to 140, and it is currently working on an open world premium AAA title for both console and PC. Now, this is very interesting given the current team's previous experiences. I wonder, is Maverick Games looking to make a brand new open world racer or create something completely different? As according to Mike Brown, the reason why he left Playground Games is, and I quote, "We shipped Forza Horizon 5, which was a thrill to work on. As much as I had an amazing journey at Playground Games, I was asking myself, what's next? Do I stick with this fun, good job, or do I look for other opportunities? Games are made in a very certain way that brings with it real security. We know that if we do these things in a row, we will hit this date and the game will come out. I think there are other ways where we can still hit that date, but also do a load of new things on the way." Now, the last quote from Mike Brown was very interesting. Although it was also stated by Brown that there wasn't any animosity in his departure, I still wonder, given the current state of Horizon 5, which I will certainly say is on a steep decline, was the team over at Playground Games bounded to more and more stricter limitations set by Microsoft as years went on? Perhaps guys like Mike Brown and several of the other Playground Games developers did have better ideas to implement in Horizon 5, but wasn't granted the permission by the big corporation, hence why they decided to leave, because they just weren't proud of what their product was turning into, or On the flip side, deep down they knew how badly Horizon 5 became based on their decisions along with how vocal the community has been, and given how the game is structured, it's easier to just leave Playground Games and the Horizon series rather than spend another 3 years in development in hopes that the next Horizon title will be successful beyond just the numbers of players at launch. I don't know, these are just speculations. It could really be as simple as a small group of former Playground game developers sharing the same vision or goal and perhaps just wanted to create something together. But the million-dollar question remains, what's going to happen to Forza Horizon 5 and the series from here onwards? Well, for Horizon 5, I believe the remaining life, whatever has been mapped out, whether it's future expansions or monthly updates, they will likely to continue to release content according to what's already been planned. Maybe someone in the current Playground Games team can now be promoted to creative director, or perhaps someone new from a different game studio could be hired as Mike Brown's replacement. We don't know, however, it is highly unlikely with a new creative director, even with the right intentions to restructure, reimagine or revitalize Forza Horizon 5 and carve out an entirely new direction for the remaining life of the game, it's just simply not going to happen. At best, the new creative director may be able to have some influential decisions over micro changes, however, on a macro level, that will most likely be left until the next title if development for Horizon 6 isn't too far in already. So what I'm basically saying is that Forza Horizon 5 will continue to implement content that was already destined for the remaining life of the title, with or without Mike Brown as a creative director, with maybe amendments or changes made on a micro scale. Now, as for the future of the Forza Horizon series, such as the next title, this is where things do get interesting. I did mention that perhaps a new creative director could possibly take the Horizon series into a completely new direction, but with Horizon 5 being released well over a year ago and the succeeding Horizon title being developed right after the launch of Horizon 5, that means that based on the last game cycle, the team is already a third into making the next Horizon game. Could the foundations of the new title be laid out already? Maybe it's just the location and the map that's been decided internally, and anything beyond will now be left into the hands of the new creative director, which certainly does sound exciting. However, I want to show just one more quote from now former creative director for Playground Games Mike Brown, where he states, "It is truism that you can be creative or you can be cautious. You can't be both. You either decide to mitigate risk, which limits creativity, or embrace the risk, which releases creativity. We are going to build a team where we really encourage them to take creative risks, to try new things, and really celebrate that as part of our culture." Could this statement itself already reveal what Forza Horizon 6 will be like? The same cookie cutter game for the past few years, no true innovation to grow the series, but once again, releasing a title based on its name. And as I said earlier, is Microsoft, the big corporation, handcuffing Playground Games to stick to a formula with the Horizon series? And perhaps developers like Mike Brown knew just how much better they could improve the Horizon game, but just weren't allowed to make those creative decisions, hence starting their own independent studio that are no longer bounded to any big companies. And who knows? I would love to see Maverick Games make their own open world AAA racer for both console and PC. Their current team has shown to be very successful, and if they do, maybe, finally, the Forza Horizon series will be forced to not play it safe anymore, but to innovate as rival companies like Mike Brown and Maverick Studio has something to prove. Honestly, I wish Mike Brown and Maverick Studios all the best. I will be keeping a close eye on what emerges from their studio, and as for Forza Horizon 5 and the future of this series, I hope it can be the series it once was, and should more employees from Playground Games leave throughout 2023, then that is when I would be seriously concerned about the future of Forza Horizon. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. Make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.